Some things are better left in the past. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 2000s cartoons that have aged badly. For this list, we're looking at cartoons that are a product of their time. Be it the animation or the subject matter, these series do not hold up all that well to a rewatch.
The more rotten it looks, the better it is.
Number 10, My Dad the Rockstar. Born out of Gene Simmons' ego and based on the rock star's family, this adventure comedy was a surprisingly modest commercial and critical hit. An earnest cartoon with a positive message about staying true to yourself, My Dad the Rockstar works well enough as a sitcom about an unorthodox family trying to adapt to an ordinary suburban life. While well-intentioned, My Dad the Rockstar's humor often misses the mark, and most episodes tend to recycle the same jokes. An okay release for the early 2000s, but far from a timeless classic. Number 9, Sheep in the Big City. The early 2000s was rife with wacky and often pointless cartoons that were promptly forgotten. As stated in the title, Sheep in the Big City centers around the misadventures of an anthropomorphic farm animal stuck in an urban environment.
What's this? Has Sheep escaped? Yes! And he's landed in the middle of the big city. Can any sheep survive?
To make matters even worse, the protagonist has caught the attention of a military organization with a sheep-powered ray gun, but no animal to fuel it.
And here it is, the latest in really big ray guns, the sheep-powered Destructo Zap 3000!
Stuffed with fake commercials and frequently breaking the fourth wall, Sheep in the Big City flirts with a ton of cool ideas, but the episodes are incredibly repetitive and the animation's crude art style was more acceptable around the turn of the century.
Fine, I can accept that a sheep desperately wanted by the military for a ray gun can get a job, but an apartment? In a big city? Hello?
Number 8, All Grown Up. Following Rugrats' hugely successful All Growed Up 10th anniversary special, Nickelodeon executives suddenly saw dollar bills and greenlit a spin-off set during the cast's teenage years.
Wouldn't it be neat to go to the future? But Tommy, what if the future got even more scary things than right now?
Lasting for 5 uneventful seasons and ditching its predecessor's grainy aesthetic, All Grown Up substituted Rugrats' surreal humor and fantastical stories for a more grounded tone and setting.
I have an Ask Angelica live online chat at exactly the same time! Do you know what'll happen to my advice-dependent fans if I'm not there?
The result? An incredibly boring and run-of-the-mill teen comedy. Once the infants were taken out of the equation, all that remained were a bunch of average teenagers with little to say.
Hey, here's your big chance to express yourself to your peers. Anything you're burning to say? Sup?
Number 7, Back at the Barnyard. Despite receiving a tongue-lashing from critics,
Guys, come on, please. There's no need to turn into an angry mob. Let's just line up one at a time and pummel Otis in an orderly fashion.
Whoa, look, I know I messed up, but I promise you it's gonna be okay.
2006's Barnyard drew a big enough box office to spawn a 2-season television series.
You're a big meanie.
What?
You're a meaner.
Far tamer than the movie, Back at the Barnyard essentially boils down to farm animals acting like dicks for the sake of comedy.
Ooh, fun. Now I get to watch Jercules get his butt whooped by someone other than me.
Just to be crystal clear, arrogant protagonists can be a ton of fun, but obnoxious characters are extremely hard to pull off in children's shows.
What are you gonna do anyway? Join Cirque du Soleil? Ha ha! I made it funny!
The humor is only made worse by Back at the Barnyard's lethargic CGI, which zaps most of the energy out of any given episode.
Guys, I'm telling you, he's vicious! Look at those cold and soulless eyes!
Number 6, Dirt Girl World. An eco-friendly message sounds good on paper, but how is anyone supposed to learn anything with that thing staring back at them? Taking place on a farm, Dirt Girl World teaches children the importance of gardening, while also scarring anyone unfortunate enough to stumble across this cartoon. Blending live action, 3D CGI, and photo montage, Dirt Girl World's animation is a work of absolute Frankensteinian proportions. For a cartoon all about the environment, Dirt Girl World looks completely unnatural.
We're not?
We can't go in all this weather. Just think of what it will do to my beach outfit.
Animated with really expressive and oddly mature eyes, Dirt Girl is comfortably the creepiest part of the entire cartoon.
Like this one. This is a pumpkin seed. Seeds are amazing.
Number 5, Loonatics Unleashed. A cartoon that outraged fans before an episode had even aired, this 2005 series seems like something that should have come out during the 90s.
I don't feel so good.
An action comedy starring the descendants of the Looney Tunes, Loonatics Unleashed starts with a crashed meteor turning Ace Bunny and friends into Power Rangers.
This cosmic event releases supernatural forces unleashing a new kind of hero, the Loonatics.
Endeavoring to be gritty and prioritizing action above comedy, Loonatics was a joke during its first season, and time has done little to silence the laughter.
Hey, Deuce, is this how you treat your friends?
I have no friends, just victims.
Switching to a more lighthearted tone for the second year, Warner Brothers tried to steady the ship, but Loonatics Unleashed was beyond saving.
True does make me so angry.
So, what's up, Doc?
Number 4, George of the Jungle. Created by the same people behind the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, 1967's George of the Jungle was a short-lived but fun cartoon.
Me, George. You, Jane. Shep, puppy. Big, grey, peanut-laughing puppy.
A decade after a decent live-action adaptation, George of the Jungle was rebooted with flash animation and a ton of slapstick humor. As a comedy, George of the Jungle relies too heavily on the protagonist's stupidity for every single gag.
Once again, our hero George patrols the jungle, ever vigilant.
However, the paper-thin characters and cheap animation are the cartoon's main flaws. The characters are so void of personality, the second season swapped the names of 2 of the main girls for no apparent reason.
How did that happen?
Was that meant as a joke, or did nobody actually notice?
Yeah.
No.
Number 3, MaryKate and Ashley in action. Nowadays, the Olsen twins rarely appear on TV, but that was not the case in the late 90s and early 2000s.
So nice having good work habits and being so mature.
Cut from the same cloth as Kim Possible, just without the witty banter or engaging action, this ABC cartoon casts the siblings as secret agents tasked with saving the world. While not necessarily ugly, the animation is devoid of any personality or flair, and MaryKate and Ashley in action seems happy to just be a generic cartoon.
You saved the festival! You saved everything!
Not so fast, my little friends. No one thwarts René LaRouche.
The voice acting is fine, but the Olsen twins' animated counterparts are too idealistic to come across as real human beings.
MaryKate, I can't believe you spoke such fluent French to the taxi driver. Telling him to have a nice day just came totally naturally.
Number 2, But Ugly Martians. Well, nobody can accuse this cartoon of false advertising. As implied by the title, But Ugly Martians refers to a group of aliens sent to invade Earth by an evil emperor. But the heroes have a change of heart after falling in love with America.
Something crazy always happens when the butt uglies are around.
Yeah, and besides, they have to file one of those fake progress reports to their emperor today.
In 2001, Nickelodeon was still coming to grips with CGI, and But Ugly Martians is the living manifestation of the network's growing pains.
Get your hands and any other disgusting appendages up where I can see them.
If the hideous animation failed to push viewers away, the ham-fisted comedy and tired fish-out-of-water premise should have been able to pick up the slack.
They have an insatiable appetite for junk food. They love to take over your couch.
Hey!
All aliens make disgusting digestive noises.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
Great, gotta fly. Be safe, Earth Mom and Jean.
So how long do you think he'll keep calling me Earth Mom?
Probably as long as he thinks he's really a superhero from another planet.
Hello? I'm shooting frame grabs for the zine, remember? I've got enough shots of you wiping out, Otto. Now get serious.
My wipeouts are serious, Reggie.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there, though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1, Fanboy and Chum Chum. In 2009, geek culture was in full swing, and Nickelodeon could not help but pounce on this trend. Following the misadventures of two kids obsessed with comic book superheroes, Fanboy and Chum Chum worked best when an episode straight up parodied a popular film. But the irritating lead characters always found a way to ruin any potentially funny scenario.
Don't come in the store without money!
Money. Chum Chum, are you familiar with this, what was it called again, Lenny?
Money.
Superhero spoofs were hardly unheard of during Fanboy and Chum Chum's era, but the genre has only become more saturated with each passing year.
Affirmative. But with great robotic power comes great robotic responsibility.
With so much competition, there is no reason to watch such an obnoxious cartoon.
Mr. Muffin! Mr. Muffin! Mr. Muffin! Mr. Muffin! Mr. Muffin!
Yes. Purple kid.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.